song is called Mr. McGrew, and it's about a man who rides his pony. It's quite simply as exciting as it gets, but it's very fun to sing along with and to play musical instruments that we're going to use out of household items to play along to make sound effects with the story. The first thing we're going to do is learn how to sing the song. Then later in the video, I will teach you how we're going to add instruments to it. So the first thing, we need to learn the words. It goes like this. Mr. McGrew went riding on a pony. Not a thing going wrong as he rode along. Okay, now it has an introduction. I'm going to play the introduction and then I'm going to sing the bit up to where I just told you the words, not a thing going wrong as he rode along. And it sounds like this. Mr. McGrew went riding on a pony. Not a thing going wrong as he rode along. Now the first thing he comes across when he's riding on his pony is it begins to hear thunder. So he says, then all at once he heard a clap of thunder. And you're going to wait. And the thunder made a sound that echoed all around, but Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Okay, so to sing that bit, it sounds like this. Then all at once he heard a clap of thunder, and the thunder made a sound that echoed all around, but Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. The next thing we're going to see is he's going to have the rain come down on him. And it says, it grew very dark and down came the rain. And then we're going to wait a little bit for some music. And the rain made a sound that echoed all around after the thunder. So we're going back to the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Okay, so this bit sounds like this. It grew very dark and down came the rain, and the rain made a sound that echoed all around after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Okay, the next thing he has happened to him is that the wind begins to blow really strong. So we're going to say, then after a while, the wind began to blow. And we're going to wait for a little bit of music. And the wind made a sound that echoed all around after the rain came. And we wait. After the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Okay, so that bit sounds like this. Then after a while, the wind began to blow, and the wind made a sound that echoed all around after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. The next thing that happens to him is a truck passes by really quickly, one of these big transport trucks that is zooming by, a big lorry, and it honks his horn at him. So we're going to say, a truck passed him by and hooted on his horn. And then we wait a little bit. And the truck made a sound that echoed all around after the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Okay, so that sounds like this. A truck passed him by and hooted on his horn, and the truck made a sound that echoed all around after the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. happens to Mr. McGrew is a bee comes along and stings him on the nose. So we're going to say this. A bee buzzed around and stung him on the nose. And then we wait for a little bit. And the bee made a sound that echoed all around after the truck passed, after the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And that's the end of the song, okay? So let's see if we can try that last verse. And it sounds like this. A bee buzzed around and stung him on the nose. And the bee made a sound that echoed all around after the truck passed, after the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And that is the end of that song, okay? So now we are going to try to do the whole thing without stopping, okay? I'm going to put the music on just now, and let's see if we can do that without stopping. Mr. McGrew went riding on a pony. Not a thing going wrong as he rode along. Then all at once he heard a clap of thunder, and the thunder made a sound that echoed all around. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. It grew very dark and down came the rain, and the rain made a sound that echoed all around after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Then after a while the wind began to blow, and the wind made a sound that echoed all around after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. A truck passed him by and hooted on his horn, and the truck made a sound that echoed all around after the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. A bee buzzed around and stung him on the nose, and the bee made a sound that echoed all around after the truck passed, after the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And that is the end of the song. So I hope you enjoyed singing that song. Now keep watching this video and you will be able to see how we add instruments to it. When I teach this song at school, we use instruments from the music classroom, from our trolley, that make the different sound effects. But because we are at home just now, we need to improvise using different items from our household. So we are going to need a sound for a pony. We're going to need a sound for the thunder, something for the rain, something for the wind, something for the truck honking its horn, and something for the bee. So the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to get a set of cups. I'm just using some small cups, and we're going to simulate the sound of Mr. McGrew while he's trotting with his pony, and we're going to make this sound. And as you can see, I'm moving the cup at I'm not just clipping it together like this. I'm going back and forth because it makes the sound of the footsteps of the pony, which may be different depending on what it's walking on or different foot. So we're going to use that, okay? So that's going to be used for the pony. Then we were ratcheting in our cupboards and we found this pizza pan to simulate a cymbal, okay? So we have a spoon, a wooden spoon, and holding the side of the pan on the edge like I would with a cymbal hanging from a string. It doesn't work as well if I hold, it doesn't ring the same. So if I hold it on the edge like this, made a nice sound like a cymbal would, and it would ring longer because my hand is not stopping the metal pan from vibrating. So maybe you have a metal pan at home that would be suitable for doing this, for the thunder. The next thing we're going to have is the rain is quite easy. I've got my cupcake sprinkles out again, and I'm using this to be the sound of the rain. So I've got shaker things, but if you don't have any cupcake sprinkles, you can put some rice in a jar and you can sprinkle, you can shake it like that to make the sound of the shaker. So that's going to be the rain. The next thing we used in our house was, I have these rings that I put all my cookie cutters on. And I've got two. I'm very lucky. I have two of these. And what I was doing for the rain was this sort of sound and shaking for the rain. But you could use car keys or house keys. You can use anything that jingles. If you have some bells at home, you could do that. But we were using this in our house for the wind. Okay. The next thing we had, now this one couldn't stop making me laughing when we were practicing it with this toy. This is a dog toy, and when I squeeze it, it makes a squeezy sound. This is going to be used for the horn of the truck. So when I'm honking the horn of the truck, maybe you have a pet at home, maybe you have a toy that makes a squeezy sound. So you need to improvise and just make a sound that sounds like a horn. So that's what we did with that one. And the last thing we used is, I happen to have a long cheese grater, and this, with the side of my wooden spoon, the stick, I'm going to scrape upwards, because if I scrape downwards, I might have pieces of wood coming out the bottom like I'm grating the spoon. But I'm using this as a scraper, or a guiro, as we would use at school, a scraper. So I'm going to scrape up for the sound of the B, okay? So that is how that's going to go. Now, if we start from the beginning of the story, I'm going to go back because the beginning of the song says, Mr. McGrew went riding on a pony. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clip-clop 7 times. So it would sound like this. Mr. McGrew went riding on a pony. Not a thing going wrong as he rode along. Now, once I get to that bit, not a thing going wrong as he rode along, I'm going to clip-clop until the music stops, and that takes 15 times, okay? So that would be like this. Not a thing going wrong as he rode along. And that would be 15 times, okay? The next thing that happens is we have to get my wooden spoon and my metal pan, and I'm going to say, then all at once he heard a clap of thunder. Now I'm not going to just start crashing this. I'm going to play a pattern on this. And when I get my pan, I'm going to do 2 slow taps and 3 quick. So it sounds like this. And then I'm done with that and I have to put it down. Okay, so it goes like this. Then all at once he heard a clap of thunder. And the thunder made a sound that echoed all around. Let me get my cups back again. And at the moment I say, but Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony, as soon as I say Mr., I'm going to start clip-clopping again, and it's going to be 15 clip-clops, right, to get to the end of the music. So it would go like this. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony, and I'm going to keep clip-clopping, clip-clopping. Oh, it'll be more than 15, actually. It's going to keep clip-clopping, and then stop. Okay, I will count how many those are after. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be sprinkling shakers, making my shaker sound for the rain. So I'm going to say, it grew very dark and down came the rain. Now, if you remember, when I played the thunder with the pan, I did slow, slow, quick, quick, quick. I'm going to do the same thing with my shakers, okay? So it's going to sound like this. Slow, slow, quick, quick, quick with my shakers, okay? So it'll sound like this. It grew very dark and down came the rain. And the rain made a sound that echoed all around. And I have to pick up my pan again because I'm doing the thunder, and I'm going to say, after the thunder. Now, I'm not going to go slow, slow, quick, quick, quick this time. That was the first time I played this for my pan sound, my cymbal sound. That was the first time. Anytime after the first time, I'm going to tap it 3 times, 3 quick times. So no slow, slow. So it'll go 3 times like that, okay? So if I do that without stopping, it's going to go like this. It grew very dark and down came the rain. And the rain made a sound that echoed all around after the thunder. And then I have to put that down really quickly and go. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And then I keep going to the end of the music. Like this, okay? The next thing is going to be the wind. So I get my things like this, my cookie cutter ring things, or if you have keys, you can use your keys like this. Okay, so I'm going to say, now, if you noticed, every time, the first time a new instrument comes in, the pattern is going to be slow, slow, quick, 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 okay? So that's what's going to happen with these cookie cutters. They're going to make that sound. But when I bring the rain back in, because it's the second time, I'm going to go quick, quick, quick. And you will see how that goes. Things might start to go a bit wrong now because I need to quickly pick up my cups for Mr. McGrew and chuck the pan down. It'd be much easier if you were doing this with more people. And I will show that later in the video because I have some helpers in my house who are all playing the song together, which makes it easier. And then you will understand how to do it with other people. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Then after a while, the wind began to blow. And the wind made a sound that echoed all around. After the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And you keep clip-clopping, clip-clopping, clip-clopping. Like this. And stop. And that's how that goes, okay? The next thing we're going to have is our horn. Oh my goodness, it's making noises already. Okay, so this little rabbit dog toy, when I squeeze it, it's going to make it. Now, the first time, because this is the first time this is coming in the song, it's going to play that pattern slow, slow, quick, quick, quick. So it's going to go slow. So that's the horn honking, okay? So that will come, and then all the other instruments will come after that. So that bit looks like this. A truck passed him by and hooted on his horn. And the truck made a sound that echoed all around. After the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And you keep clip-clopping, clip-clopping like that. Now, if you're by yourself playing this, you can see it's difficult for me to put the pan down and pick up my clip-clops. So it's easier playing it with other people. So when I do run through it all by myself, you will see that I won't come in on time, but it should come in on when Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And the last thing we're going to see is a bee buzzed around and stung him on the nose. So we're going to take our spoon, the side of our spoon, the stick, and we're going to scrape upwards because I don't want to be grating my spoon handle. and putting it down like Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to go up the way, and because it is the first time that this instrument has come in, I'm going to be playing my slow, slow, quick, quick, quick. So it would sound like this. A bee buzzed around and stung him on the nose. And the bee made a sound that echoed all around after the truck passed. After the wind blew, after the rain came, after the thunder, but Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And you keep click-clopping until you get to the end, okay? Like that. So should we have a go at just trying it by ourselves? And then after that, we're going to have a look at my children, Elias, Ayla, and Anna, and they are playing it between them while I sing. They'll be playing all the instruments. So that will give you an idea of what it's like when you're playing it all together. Okay, so let's have a go at playing the whole thing now by ourselves. Mr. McGrew went riding on a pony. Not a thing going wrong as he rode along. Then all at once he heard a clap of thunder. And the thunder made a sound that echoed all around. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. It grew very dark and down came the rain. And the rain made a sound that echoed all around after the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. Then after a while the wind began to blow. And the wind made a sound that echoed all around after the rain came. After the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. A truck passed him by and hooted on his horn. And the truck made a sound that echoed all around after the wind blew. After the rain came. After the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. A bee buzzed around and stung him on the nose. And the bee made a sound that echoed all around after the truck passed. After the wind blew. After the rain came. After the thunder. But Mr. McGrew kept riding on his pony. And that is the end of the song by yourself. It takes quite a lot of concentration to get through that and remember which instrument goes where. But if you find it difficult doing it by yourself, stay tuned and keep watching this video and you'll see all my children playing along with it. And that might be a bit more fun for you if you get different people in your house. I hope you enjoy watching that part. And that is the end of the whole thing, the song, the story, the use of instruments. I hope you had fun searching in your house to find instruments to play along. Maybe you got some family members to join in and to play it all together. Have a brilliant day, and we'll see you later.